Hi folks, Barry here from Make It So Adult Fitness in Long Beach, talking today about a special program that I designed for one of my clients named Cristina. Many of you know Cristina. This program, we're going to use one single band. It'll be what I call a repurposed band. In a previous video, when I was talking about band safety, I was explaining about with the loop bands, how when you examine it, if you see that the band is really frayed and there's a nick in it, that you shouldn't risk having the band snap or break while you're using it. And it's better just to take a pair of scissors and right where it's split, just cut it. But don't throw it away. It's still a perfectly usable band. So we're going to use just this one band because we're in coronavirus lockdown mode now. And this is the band that Cristina has at home. So this is a program that I developed for Cristina, but other people have used this program with me also. And I'll, in other videos, I'll repeat the same program, but using a flat band and then again with a regular loop band. So this will be mostly trisets. A triset is doing 3 different exercises back to back or without stopping. It's like a superset with 1 extra exercise. Okay. So let's start, and remember you're warming up first. So let's start with squats. And I'm doing everything with 10 repetitions. Based on your level of conditioning, or the degree of difficulty that you find using the band or bands that you have, you may want to make that 10, 12, or 15. But I'm going to do this as 10. So we'll do squats, shrugs, and hammer curls, going from one to the next to the next. And again, it'll be 10 repetitions of each. So let's start with squats. I'm going to put the band flat on the floor. Remember, what you don't want to do is hold it like this and then get all tripped up trying to get the other foot in. Put it flat on the floor and then just step on, step on. Now grab it down low. Bend your knees, chin up. Remember, chin up helps keep your spine straight. And let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep your hands right where they are and keep your feet right where they are. Shrugs, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hammer curl. Now we'll loosen the grip so the bands come full length and hold it just like you're holding a hammer. Okay. Stand tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, so that's the first triset. After each triset or superset, let's take just a little bit of a stretching break. So let's start with child pose. A good long stretch coming up your back. Notice my knees are slightly bent and I'm pushing back with my hips, so I'm stretching my back. Then come up, keep your knees slightly bent, push your hips forward and your head back. Ooh, this is like a standing cobra. We'll do 2 more. Child pose. Cobra. Last child pose. Last cobra. Good. Now let's go to a door attachment. If you don't have a door attachment, you can make your own. Just take a bandana, just twirl it around, put a knot at the end. I would use a double knot because you don't want it to come undone. Open the door. Now, I like to put this right around shoulder height, this part of the shoulder. Just put it in, close your door. We now have a door anchor, but make sure that it's snug. Let's do a chest press, a row, and a side lunge. Put the band through. I like to put the band under my arms, but if you find that that's too much resistance for the band you're working with, then turn and put it on top of your arms. But let's assume that everybody can put it under your arms. You're holding it just like this. And let's do a squat press. Squat press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's turn around and do 10 squat rows. Now, I'm going to do it with the band, but that also means my back will be turned to you. So let me turn sideways before I start and just do a mock version so you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the bands like this, and I'm going to squat, row, squat, row. So remember, when you go down into your squat, your arms are out straight. You don't pull your arms back until you start to stand and do it as one fluid motion. Say squat row, 10 repetitions. All right, let me stand a little bit sideways. Squat, row. Squat, row. Squat, row. Squat. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Side lunge. I just noticed that I did not use the door anchor that we just made, so let me just switch over. So it'll work exactly the same. Now for side lunge, and making sure that both ends are the same length, I'm going to use a double overhand grip. I'm coming down, grabbing it down at the end, double overhand grip. I'm going to hold my hands in tight by my chest. I'm not going to move my arms once I'm in this position. I'm just going to hold it here and lock it in. I'm going to step to the side and lunge away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's turn the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. That's the second tricep. Yogurt again. Child pose. We'll do each one 3 times. Good long stretch up the back. Standing cobra. Bend your knees slightly. Push your hips forward and your head back. Back to child pose. Coming up to cobra. Last child pose. Last cobra. Good. The next tricep. Triceps, crunch, wood chop for the obliques. So to do that, let's take our door anchor and move it up higher. Again, always pull it to make sure that it's comes all the way down to the knot. Okay, so triceps extension, I'm going to hold it higher. I'm going to pull down. Down. Remember, it's biceps when you're coming up against resistance. It's triceps when you're going away from your shoulders against resistance. Okay, so I'm going to put my elbows right on my ribs. Just lock them in, soft knees. That just gives me more of a stable stance. Hands down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, crunch. I'm going to bring my elbows in. Now, I'm not going to bend at the hips or the waist. All I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my bottom ribs down towards the top of my hips. So I'm not going like this, I'm going like this. I'm squeezing it, I'm crunching it. So it's like this. So draw your abs in and hold them in tight while you do it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, wood chop. Wood chop works the oblique abdominals. To crunch, work the front part of the abs. Again, the wood chop works the obliques. Again, let's go back to our double overhand grip. Now, I'm going to bring it down, but when I do it, I'm going to come up on the ball of this foot. That gets my hip involved as well as my oblique abdominals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Let's go back into yoga. Child pose. Cobra. Second child pose. Second cobra. Last child pose. And coming up to last cobra. Good. Okay, shoulders. We've talked before, everybody thinks that this is the shoulder. It's not. That's your trapezius, that's part of your back. This is the shoulder right here. The shoulder is not a muscle. There's three distinct muscles, and each one you activate or you work separately. So there's a muscle head here in the front, a muscle head here in the middle, and then one in the back. So when we were doing like our chest presses, we were already working the front part of the shoulder. So what I want to do now is I want to hit the lateral head, or the muscle head that's in the middle, and then I want to hit the muscle head that's in the back. So I'm going to take the band off. I'm going to stand on it. Remember, to stand on the band, just put it flat on the floor and then step on. Take the slack out, but don't preload it or don't stretch it. Now rotate your wrist so your thumbs are pointing to the outside. Bring your arms up about shoulder high. Don't go up any higher than shoulder high, just shoulder high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you find that it's too much resistance, trying to come all the way up to shoulder height, come up as much as you can and pause at the top of your range for 1 second. 1, 2, etc. Now let's do the back part of the shoulder. Let's go back through. And now I'm going to bring my arms up so they're right straight out in front of my shoulders. And I'm going to pull the band straight back. When you do it, you'll feel your shoulder blades squeezing together. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, 2 more exercises. First one, I'm going to use the chair. In the gym, we'd normally do hips where I would attach the band to a frame, and we'd put 1 foot in and we'd come out like this. And then we'd go to the back and then we'd come into the side. We don't have the frame here, so let's just work. This is called hip abduction. Remember, there's abduction and adduction. Abduction is you're going away from the midline of the body. Just remember, if somebody's being abducted, they're being taken away. That's how you can remember the difference between abduction and adduction. Adduction, you're coming into the midline. So let's use a chair. Sit up towards the front of the chair. Put the band on top of your thighs. Top. Then bring the bottom parts that are hanging down up around like this. And hold it tight. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Last one, baby cows, calf muscles. Hold on to something. Now let's do 2 sets. So the first, we're going to raise both heels at the same time. Come all the way up on your toes and squeeze your calves for 1 second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. rest a moment and then do the second set. I'm not going to rest, but when you do it, you'll rest for about a minute or two before you do the second set, and this will be the last set in this series. So the first set, you had your weight evenly distributed, so now the calves on each leg are getting the same amount of work. Let's double the workload. We'll do that by putting one foot behind the ankle. Now this one leg is going to do 100% of your body weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So there's a full body routine using one repurposed band. In other videos to come, I'll repeat this exercise routine using flat band, and then I'll repeat it again using a loop band. But it'll be the same exercises, only slight modifications from one type of band to the next. Well, my time is up. I thank you for yours.